women plumbers, electricians, carpenters?
I don't actually know.
Nope. No, don't know.
I don't know any women that are in that trade at all now.
Because I think it may be a lot of girls at school may not even consider going into these trades because it's considered to be a boys' thing.
I enjoy fixing stuff. I enjoy going somewhere and it being a mess and people being happy and relieved and grateful and like, oh, it's not dripping anymore, it's not leaking anymore, oh, look at my bathroom. Got a business called Trusty Tradeswoman, self-employed, and I do painting and decorating and general fixings around the house and plumbing. This is a hot water feed. That was, a lot of this is all still on the old lead main. So I'm just cleaning up old copper pipe so you get a good connection with the fitting. As a woman, I've got a kid, I pick him up from school. I can leave the job when I want. It's just the flexibility that comes from being a self-employed tradesperson is really good. I can't imagine going into and working in being the only woman on the site. I think that's kind of next level. I think being empowered and working self-employed is amazing. I don't know, I still feel like there's like lots of work that needs to be done for that, getting that not being a scary thing to do. There are some women who won't employ me because this is a man's job, and there are some men who think that, and it's a lot more mixed than I expected. When men see me wandering around with my trusty tradeswoman van, when I first got it sign written, I really noticed a lot more aggression towards me on the road from white vans, and getting cut up and shouted and sworn at. I think it's professional men who are more threatened.
The UK construction sector has the worst gender balance of any sector and lags far behind the rest of Europe. Although there is equality legislation and measures in place around gender equality in the workplace, the construction industry in the UK remains one of the most male-dominated sectors, and women are consistently underrepresented. So less than 1% of construction workers in the UK are women, and even when you include surveyors, planners and other workers in the sector, this only rises to 18%. So we know that across the industry, women are not being supported to have the same opportunities as men in the industry.
So why do you think it might be unusual that women take up like hands-on roles in construction and skilled trades?
Personally, I just think because historically it's just been so male-dominated, and if anyone's experienced even walking past the construction site and getting like catcalled and whistled at, I just couldn't imagine wanting to even work in that kind of environment.
I guess like with construction stuff, it's quite, I think, you know, it's quite physical, so I guess there are a lot of women out there that would enjoy that, but it is just so male orientated and so like, you know, lots of testosterone and stuff. That's what I think of when I think of builders.
As a woman myself, I would say, yeah, it wouldn't be very appealing to me, to be honest, unless that kind of culture was going to change.
A big part of the problem is sexism. Research shows that more than half of female construction workers said they were treated worse than men because of their gender, because they were women. And 73% of women feel that they've been passed over for projects and work because they were women rather than because of their skills and experience.
I do feel like being a woman in a 95% man's world is like a daily revolutionary thing to do, and it's an action, it's positive action. To be visible, to have my van sign written and wander around with a smile and confidence. Find your own little support network. It doesn't have to be all women, but find your group so that you get the support, because you will have prejudice against you and you can feel isolated.
best part of working with practical women is actually I feel a little bit like I've found my tribe. I've been on professional training courses which have been very heavily male dominated, and I've actually felt quite isolated. Being amongst other women working in the trades, and particularly being part of a team and practical women, it feels much more welcoming. I'm with other women that understand my needs and also understand what it's like to be a woman working in the trades, which can actually have a lot of challenges. I think there's a huge benefit for having spaces for women to learn practical skills. One of the places that I learnt and developed my carpentry skills was Bristol Women's Workshop. It was fantastically collaborative, really, really supportive, and actually really validated for me that I did have some good skills already, and it really, really helped me build on them. So it was a really fantastically welcoming environment.
The beginning of the Bristol Women's Workshop first courses, February 1981.
Like this.
Yeah, things like that. And basically.
We've kept going since then, and when you're so engaged with something, it just seemed, well, can't go back to doing the 9 till 5. Okay, so you need to do a second lifeline here.
What's really
So with the tri-square.
what you want to do is if you bring it closer to the edge, you might be.
The idea behind it was to really provide a space where women could learn non-traditional skills, and so for Bristol Women's Workshop that was mainly, that is now mainly woodwork, and that's hand tool woodwork, fine furniture and so on. Women learn about sawing straight, about planing, about chiselling, about measuring, those sorts of skills.
It's quite important for women to have something that they've made in their homes.
I've just always been really interested in like building my own things. I mean, when I was young, it was my only ambition. The only thing I knew that I wanted to do was basically make my own furniture and stuff for my house.
There's a lot of sense of agency you get from being able to make things in your home, to change your environment. There's empowerment around thinking, oh yeah, I can do that, and I can do that, and I can Google something else, and I can find out, and just build on skills. I don't feel I can't do it. I just feel I don't know how to do it yet.
I really like just having the dedicated time to come and do something and to be taught how to do it. Yeah, I just want to get good at something and like Sue was saying, like just have confidence in what you can do and create something.
I think if I was devising, an educational structure in schools, it would include the use of tools, how to think and how to use tools. I think those are key. And I think in many ways that, the education system doesn't serve people well because these are areas that have been displaced. And I think we can go a long way to putting a lot of that back.
What do you think we could do to encourage more women?
I think a lot of the problem these days is it's difficult to get anyone into trades because they can't try to encourage children to just go to university, which isn't the option, instead of bringing back proper apprenticeships for men and women, plumbing and engineering, electricians and things like that. I think there needs to be a bit of a push really, because they're the sort of people that we really need.
There would have to be some sort of effort to change that kind of patriarchal culture that is just so prevalent in those kind of industries as well, to attract women so that they're able to work in a space that they feel that they are safe and respected.
More campaigns, get more information out there, education, teach from a young age that women and men are completely equal and women can do whatever they want. And if they have a passion, they should follow that passion.
I've always enjoyed doing things with my hands, but there was no one doing those kind of things when I was at school, so it never occurred to me. Be Practical is a new CIC that we're setting up. It has two strands to it. One, we want to provide DIY training to harder to reach groups who haven't traditionally been exposed to DIY training. And secondly, we want to provide some more basic fundamental skills training to women who are considering entering into the trade. Yeah, that's fine then, isn't it? The double socket goes in there, and then, but we're just going to have to get the 6mm up behind it somehow. From this one, so that's going there. But part of the reason that we see a need for Be Practical is that through our work with practical women, we've actually been approached by a lot of younger women who are thinking of career changes, and they want to learn, they want work experience with us. So now we're going to provide people with the opportunity to see women doing it and to learn the skills so that they can pursue those careers themselves. Have you noticed upstairs that the double socket is hanging off the wall? It's a job. It's a well-paid job. If you do a job well, then it's a great career. It's, from my point of view, I think it's fantastic because it's all about problem solving, and it absolutely plays into all the things I love doing. But you know, it is a really fascinating career, and you can be doing it for a very long time, and it can lead into a lot of other areas of project management and all sorts of things. So yeah, why shouldn't women have that as a choice for a career?